I mean, let's replay some of this Michael Malone stuff for you. And it's Michael Malone on, well, let's start about the best fans in the NBA.
OKC won a thrilling Game 7 in front of the best fans in the NBA.
Okay, so Oklahoma City, best fans in the NBA. Okay. Then we go post-game.
That one really surprised me. It did.
Okay.
Because that one felt a little bit personal to me. Like I'm frightened. You guys forgot about me already?
Okay.
That quickly? You already forgot about me?
Then we go SGA, the MVP. Let's take a little bit, but we get there.
Well, I actually think it started with their defense. They forced 19 turnovers tonight and converted those into 31 points. We talked about that pregame going in. We talked about during the Denver Nuggets series. You cannot come into this building and turn the ball over and expect to win. And obviously OKC's defense, that's what they do. They do it at an elite level. And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he showed why he's the MVP. He took over in the second half, did so in a very efficient manner, and put the team on his back when they needed him to do so.
Okay. Now, just to refresh what Malone said about Jokic a few weeks ago.
My thing is this, if you didn't know that Nikola won 3 MVPs, and I put player A and player B on paper, and you had no idea that the guy who's averaging a triple-double, the guy who's top 3 in the 3 major statistical categories, things that no one's ever done, he wins the MVP 10 times out of 10. And I get it, it's different for everybody. MVP, what it means for you might be different for what it means for Sean. Cool. And again, I'm not I will never negative recruit. Shai is not a good player, great player. And if he wins it, I'll actually, clap my hands and be happy for him because he's such a great guy who's a great player and who's good for this game. So it's not Nikola versus Shai. For me, it's me promoting my guy because I know what he means to this game. And when you look at it from a historical perspective, he's doing things that no one's ever done.
Well, I actually think it started with their defense. They forced 19 turnovers tonight and converted those into 31 points. We talked about that pregame going in. We talked about during the Denver Nuggets series. You cannot come into this building and turn the ball over and expect to win. And obviously OKC's defense, that's what they do. They do it at an elite level. And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he showed why he's the MVP. He took over in the second half, did so in a very efficient manner, and put the team on his back when they needed him to do so.
George Karl on Twitter. Jokic was the MVP again this season, and it wasn't that close. But I guess I'm the only former Nuggets coach who knows that.
Dang. Dang. Shots fired.
Let me say it again.
What a great line.
Jokic was the MVP again this season, and it wasn't that close. But I guess I'm the only former Nuggets coach who knows that.
Does George Karl think he's the best coach in franchise history?
Well, I don't know. He's won a lot of games, man. He's up there on the all-time list.
It was a fun run.
But George is saying here, Malone said that on purpose.
Yeah, just my opinion here. You guys feel free to disagree with me, but I do think that the fans' comment felt like a shot. That felt to me like you guys already forgot about me. Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't remember that parade you just had when I was there? Okay. Well, these fans look like they deserve it. To me, the MVP comment, that felt very factual in nature to me. That just felt like SJ is about to win the MVP. I guess technically he hasn't won yet.
Not yet.
But he's going to. We all know it. It just felt like a very factual statement.
But like George Karl, a former Nuggets coach, said, and like Malone said a month ago, if you didn't know who the guys were and you just put up numbers side by side, you say, okay, well, there's your MVP.
Well, George is basically saying in this tweet, I think, I'm not letting Mr. Malone off the hook with what he said. You said that on purpose. You're a hypocrite. And that wasn't an accident. I think that's what George is saying. Now, do you agree with George or not?
Read it again one more time.
Jokic was the MVP again this season, and it wasn't that close. But I guess I'm the only former Nuggets coach who knows that. It's a heck of an accusation by George right there.
Yeah. Now, George is no stranger to Twitter controversy.
Yeah, that's for sure.
He is not afraid.
And George has got his own bitterness with certain things, too. And I love George. I do. But he's angry about some things.
Yeah, but that's more J.R. Smith, Kenya Martin, and Carmelo Anthony bitterness.
Well, he got fired by the Nuggets as well.
But I think there's been time.
I think he associates himself very deeply with the Nuggets. I don't think he disassociates at all.
He stayed here since even when he went and coached Sacramento, he's kept his house here.
He is accusing Malone of taking a shot.
Yeah.
And he's actually kind of accusing Malone of taking a shot at the Joker. Not the organization, but directly at Jokic.
Well, did we put that poll up and ask? Was that a shot?
I don't think we I think we kind of all agreed it was a shot.
Well,
I
don't.
You don't. You think he was just...
Well, I certainly don't think he was intentional. I'll put it that way.
Now, context does matter. Let me just put what Malone said in context. He was on the post-game show on SportsCenter where you got like 2 minutes. And you got a couple of anchors that you can't even see. You're just hearing them in your ears.
And you're talking about a dude that just balled.
And then Oklahoma City just won the game by 26. And SGA was great during the game. And yes, you're right. He is the presumptive MVP that I think he's getting later tonight, tomorrow, something like that.
ESPN has the MVP trophy sitting in a room somewhere in Oklahoma City.
So it's tonight. It's tonight. It's on TNT.
Yeah,
so
they're not bringing Joker back.
Wait, they play again tonight?
Oklahoma City.
No, but they're going to do the MVP tonight and the game's tomorrow. And this is what they did for Joker last year, by the way. It was between games, and it was in Denver. And then you come out on the court, the next game and the whole thing.
Okay.
So the presentation actually.
Look, I think.
Okay, so Shams literally right now, is reporting that SGA has won the MVP, which we all knew was going to happen. But that's right now. That's not yesterday.
I will say this: so Shams did just report that Gordon wasn't playing.
Does Malone work for ESPN?
Gordon said he was injured.
Yeah, Malone works for ESPN.
Did ESPN know this yesterday?
They could have known it.
Probably.
They could have known it. Of course they do it.
They could have known it.
Of course they do it.
So did Malone just slip?
Yes. Or it's he slipped no matter how you look at it. Either he slipped because he knew in advance, or he just slipped because he had 30 seconds to hype up a dude that just had a baller game.
Let me ask you this, though. If he really did have a close relationship with Joker and he's on TV, why wouldn't he just simply say, as great as SGA is, he's not the MVP. He's really good.
That wasn't the time for that. He's doing
his gig because this gig's going to fold into next season. And
this had nothing to do with Nikola Jokic.
Do you think Malone?
He's doing a highlight reel of a basketball game.
Well, this wasn't a highlight reel. It was responding to like an interview thing. So he could have said whatever he wanted. It wasn't look at this play.
But the context was about SGA in the Oklahoma City Thunder basketball game.
Correct.
Had nothing to do with Jokic.
Doesn't every MVP conversation have to do with Jokic?
I think he could have cleaned it up a little bit if he truly wanted to. But why does he need to? Because he's no longer the coach here.
Well, that goes to the other thing. And this is where, like in the morning, and he's bitter, he's petty, bum, 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 bum. He might be. I don't think it's petty, by the way. Petty to me means you're upset about little stuff. Like it's like little things. I don't think getting fired is petty. I think getting fired is kind of a big deal for anybody, even if you're making a lot of money like he is. I don't think there's anything petty about it. I don't think he was happy. The reports were he was not happy. Like he did not leave the building quietly are the reports. There were some words out the building. I haven't seen him around. Have you? I don't know. Have you really heard from him?
Other than being in L.A. for Game 3.
Okay. Does Malone have the right to be upset about being terminated 3 days before it?
Everybody has a right. No one, very rarely, I won't say no one, very rarely do people feel they're justified being fired. And especially with 3 games at the end of the season, who knows he doesn't go on the same run. We don't have any history on that to decide whether he would have or not. Maybe they would have still won those 3 games. Maybe they still would have beat the Clippers. We don't know. But yeah, I think everybody gets let go, especially in the manner and when it happened and how it happened. I think he was upset.
So why would any of the Nuggets fans be upset at Michael Malone?
Because they wanted to love him. They wanted to see Doug Moe's names up in the rafters now with less wins than Malone put up there. They wanted to love him. And he's been great. I mean, on parade, Malone was fantastic. He was the the star, and where was it? Miko was kind of the star of the Avalanche's parade, right?
Well,
Landy, you heard of him?
But Landy hosted the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
but Miko came up
Miko was great too.
Yeah. But Malone was the star of that that parade, right?
He took it over.
Boozy B. I mean, he ruled that one.
Well, him and Vic.
The second you decide to do this job, the second you get a microphone in front of you, you will have to take a shot inherently at somebody at some time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you know, what a shot is relative. I mean, we justify it for what we do as a living as it's our opinion, right? Like we're just giving our opinion of what it is. But that's the risk that you run. When you take that microphone and you start talking into it, you're going to say things that are going to bother people.
I will say the MVP thing is I'm rolling my eyes because it's everybody knew SGA was winning it.
A month ago.
Oh, now you say that after you won your coffee.
No, but it's still a shot. The question was not if it's not the degree of it, just is there going to be a shot? But I think it's still a shot. That being said, the comment about the fans, though, is more of like,
yeah, that one.
I'm sorry, what?
That right there is like worth 2.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
I agree.
taking a shot at the fans, and that to me feels thought out because that to me signals he thought he would be more defended by people when it happened, and he just wasn't. And the fans were quick to just be like, okay, let's go.
But if you go back and look at our text line the day after, because we were on the air, or the day it happened, I think we were on the air. The fans are pretty, I would say, more his side than not.
Do you think the fans were outraged that he was fired?
I think there was more the word for the timing. Not that he was fired, and that's what people ask me. Were you surprised? No, but I was surprised at the timing.
Okay, because it never had happened before. A playoff-bound coach had never been fired that close to the start of the playoffs.
Ever.
I don't know, bro. We were on the air that day. We were on the air like an hour after it happened. And to me, it was just like, hey, we suck right now. We got to win here. Like, I don't know. The vibe I got from the fans was like, let's go.
We were preparing ourselves for the conversation of an early postseason exit, then what with Michael Malone? That's what we were prepared to do. We were prepared to have that conversation. Definitely not with 3 games left.
And by the way, should anybody be surprised that somebody who gets fired is upset?
No.
Come on. It's natural. So he took some subtle shots, and they were subtle.
As I said would happen.
I didn't predict the fans were going to be the target of it, nor would I guess that Joker would sort of. I didn't think it was going to go in either of those directions. So
that's why I think the second one was seriously accidental.
You're probably right. But boy, Malone's a pretty calculated dude too. Like, gosh, he's pretty sharp with. I've been in press conferences with him where he's got a line in his mind and he's going to get it out one way or the other. And he's just looking for the opportunity to drop that bomb. You think he came up with take that L on the way out just like at the drop of a hat? Or do you think he had that in the back of his mind like, nah, okay, I'm gonna seize the day? Do you know how many times I've been in those press conferences with Malone and he drops a bomb and he just with the table and walks out?
Up. Yep, and he would do it. He'd hit the table and walk out. You're right.
Out the door. Oh, okay. And we all laugh because it was all entertaining. We were like, oh, well, that was great. You know, tweet.
He's on our side. He was mad there were Laker fans in our building.
But, like, he would literally think those things out. Bednar wouldn't do any of that stuff. I think Sean Payton thinks those things out, too. I think he thinks like that, too. He looks for his little opportunities. Hackett was just lost. He was just...
I have 2 middle fingers.
Bud Black would just say, that's baseball. And just, whatever. Did we lose again? Baseball.
That's baseball.
That's baseball.